Welcome to my channel.
And this is a podcast Speak English.
Hello everyone and welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we're talking about buying clothes.
That's right, we're gonna go and get some clothes, but on this occasion, we are going to get a suit and we're gonna have it made especially for us. So before we get started, why don't we take a look at one keyword that we have in Vocabulary Preview.
Vocabulary Preview.
Okay, this word makes me think of things that are very rich and soft.
It's a fabric, right?
That's right, it's a kind of textile. It's called cashmere.
Cashmere.
So maybe you've heard of cashmere wool. It's a special kind of wool that comes from animals.
So this is a textile or a fabric that is commonly used to make pants, nice pants or suits for men.
Or scarves or sweaters. You've ever had a cashmere sweater, you know it's very luxurious, very soft.
So it can be a little bit expensive depending on the quality, and that's what we're going to be looking at now. We're going to be making a suit out of cashmere. So why don't we listen to our dialogue for the first time?
Welcome to Bill's Fabric World. What can I do for you today?
I was wondering if you guys also tailor clothes.
Sure we do. We have the best tailors in the country. What is it that you need exactly?
Well, I'm looking to get a custom-made suit.
Excellent. We have the finest cashmeres at affordable prices. How about we get you measured? Let's start off by measuring the width of your shoulders. Now, let's measure the length of your arms and this bit around your neck here.
Can you make sure you leave a little extra space in the collar? My neck gets easily irritated.
No problem. Now for your pants, let me just measure your waist and the inseam.
You might also want to leave a little extra room in the waist area. I tend to gain a few pounds over the holidays.
Okay. Now you can pick your fabric and pattern design. Please follow me.
So this reminds me of something that people used to do a lot more often. So you go to the tailor and you'd have some clothes made. Most people don't do this anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's actually really interesting. Maybe because it's more expensive nowadays, or tailors are harder to find.
That's right. So let's learn about the words first and what they mean, and then maybe we can talk about this at the end of today's show.
Language Takeaway.
All right, so today on Language Takeaway, we have a word that is a noun and a verb. So as you mentioned, the person that makes suits is a tailor.
That's right. You can say, my uncle is a tailor. He makes clothes for famous people. But this word is also a verb. That means it's an action word. We can say, my uncle, the tailor, he tailors clothes.
Okay, so to tailor clothes. And what does it mean when you say to tailor?
Well, it can have two meanings. The first is what we learn about in today's dialogue. It means to make clothes.
Okay.
So to make a shirt or to make a pair of pants. But these days we often say to tailor, which means to fix something. So, for example, Marco, if you buy a pair of pants and they're too long,
Right.
you can have them tailored.
You have them tailored. And that means that I am going to have them fixed so they fit me properly.
Exactly. This is a lot more common right now.
Okay, so we're going to be tailoring clothes. Now, if any of you have ever been to the tailor, what they do is they measure you. And what do they measure? Well, in this case, they get the width of your shoulders.
Well, what's really great about these upcoming words is that they're useful in math as well, math and just basic measurements. So width is how big something is across.
Across, so how wide something is.
Exactly, wide, width.
Okay, so that's the width. Now, your shoulders, they are wide, and, well, your legs, on the other hand, your legs and arms, you don't measure the width. Usually you measure the length.
How long they are.
Okay, so width and length. Now, just to throw it in there, this wasn't in the dialogue, but what would be the other measure word?
So the third word would be height. So you think of a rectangle, you have the width, how wide something is, the length, how long it is, and the height, how tall it is.
How tall it is, right. So width, length, and height. All right. Now that we've measured our arms and legs, now we want to measure our waist.
Okay, this is the important one. This is also the sensitive one. If you find out you've gained some weight, we measure the waist. Okay, that's how big you are around your stomach. And so usually we measure this in a circle.
Okay.
Okay, so you've heard of a 26-inch waist or a 32-inch waist. This is the size of your stomach.
Okay. So it's just above your hips, right? As you say, it's your stomach. And, well, we measured the waist, and now in men especially, they measure the inseam. Now, this is very particular for tailors and having suits made. What is the inseam of your pants?
Well, think of the word inside. This is the inside of your pants. So from your foot to the middle of your pants where your zipper starts.
Okay.
So that's not the outside length, it's the inside length, okay?
Now, for example, skirts, they don't have inseams, right?
No, because there's no inside, there's no middle, right? So it's just like a circle.
Okay.
But in pants or shorts, you have an inseam. That's where it's connected in the middle.
All right. So also in shorts, very interesting. So you can measure the inseam of pants or shorts. All right, so very interesting and particular words for tailors. Why don't we listen to our dialogue again, and we'll be back shortly.
Welcome to Bill's Fabric World. What can I do for you today?
I was wondering if you guys also tailor clothes.
Sure we do. We have the best tailors in the country. What is it that you need exactly?
Well, I'm looking to get a custom-made suit.
Excellent. We have the finest cashmeres at affordable prices. How about we get you measured? Let's start off by measuring the width of your shoulders. Now, let's measure the length of your arms and this bit around your neck here.
Can you make sure you leave a little extra space in the collar? My neck gets easily irritated.
No problem. Now for your pants, let me just measure your waist and the inseam.
You might also want to leave a little extra room in the waist area. I tend to gain a few pounds over the holidays.
Okay. Now you can pick your fabric and pattern design. Please follow me.
All right, we're back. So now we have 3 key phrases that we found in this dialogue. So let's take a look at them now in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
This first phrase is the topic of today's lesson. We talked a little bit about measurements for a suit, but in particular, we're getting a custom-made suit.
Okay, so this word custom-made.
Well, custom is important. It means special or unique. There's no other like it. So we could talk about custom cars. That means a car that has been fixed especially for you.
Okay, so a custom-made suit would be a suit that was made specifically for your height, for how big your waist is, etc., specifically for you.
Right, so a suit that I buy at the department store is just a normal suit, but a suit that I have made for me is a custom-made suit.
Okay, and as you said, you can use it for cars, a custom-made car, or maybe, for example, a custom-made
kitchen. That means that you get to pick every single part of the kitchen that you want.
Many people do that, right? They have custom-built or custom-made homes.
Yeah, that's always something I've wanted to do, but I hear that it's much more expensive than getting a normal homemade.
All right, so that's the first key phrase. Now, moving on, when we talk about measuring, we say, I measured the length of this street.
Right, or let's measure you so we can see how big you are.
But if you notice in the dialogue, we use the passive voice. He says, let's get you measured.
Okay, I got measured, or it got measured. To get measured, as you say, is the passive voice. Now, what's the difference between passive and active?
All right, so basically what happens here is we are concentrating on the person and the action falling upon you, for example. So, I got measured. What happened to me? I got measured.
Who did it? Who measured you? We don't know.
We don't know. We don't care, right?
All right, the important part is that you were measured. You got measured. But we could have a different phrase. We say, for example, I will measure this table, or he measures the height of the door. And we know he measures.
Right.
I will measure. We know who the actor is. That means it's active voice because the focus is on who's doing this action. But in passive voice, the important thing is who is receiving the action.
Right. Now, it's a little bit complicated because, as you can see, measured is in the past, but we're not really talking about the past, so it may get a little bit complicated. We can take a more in-depth look at that in the community section. You can ask a couple questions. We'll place a couple of examples, but it's kind of hard to get into the grammar over an audio podcast, right?
That's true. So that's why we have the practice space on the website.
All right. Now, moving on, we have our last phrase. And when he was talking about the waist and how he should leave a little bit of extra room, it's because he tends to gain a few pounds.
Okay, so to gain a few pounds is like gaining a kilo. It means to gain weight over the holidays. And in this case, I tend to means I normally or I usually. So, for example, Marco, what do you tend to eat for breakfast?
I tend to eat scrambled eggs and a glass of yogurt.
That's healthy. Do you tend to run late in the morning?
Yes.
True.
Right? So tend to, it's a tendency is what usually happens.
It's normal.
It's normal. All right. So very interesting phrases, very interesting words. Why don't we listen to our dialogue for the last time?
Welcome to Bill's Fabric World. What can I do for you today?
I was wondering if you guys also tailor clothes.
Sure we do. We have the best tailors in the country. What is it that you need exactly?
Well, I'm looking to get a custom-made suit.
Excellent. We have the finest cashmeres at affordable prices. How about we get you measured? Let's start off by measuring the width of your shoulders. Now, let's measure the length of your arms and this bit around your neck here.
Can you make sure you leave a little extra space in the collar? My neck gets easily irritated.
No problem. Now for your pants, let me just measure your waist and the inseam.
You might also want to leave a little extra room in the waist area. I tend to gain a few pounds over the holidays.
Okay. Now you can pick your fabric and pattern design. Please follow me.
All right. So we talked earlier about how most people buy their clothes at a department store or a clothing store. Have you seen much of this? You know, maybe back in Ecuador, it's more common than in America.
Yeah, usually people just go to a department store and get suits, for example, but it's actually very common as well because it's kind of they're artisans to be like a shoemaker or to be a tailor. So actually people like it more and go to tailors because they kind of become renowned. Like, oh, he used to make suits for the president. So, you know, people really, really like to get suits made there. And obviously they fit much better. You feel more comfortable.
And you look better.
Yeah.
As I've said before, you know, I see people who buy all these suits. My brother, for example, they never quite fit right.
Yeah.
You can tell it's a little too big in the shoulders. My brother's tall, so his pants are always a little bit too short. But when you come to a place like China and most people can get these suits made for them, they just look fabulous.
It looks very, very nice. Yeah, so maybe you guys can tell us if you've ever had anything tailor-made. Not only guys' suits, but girls also get tailor-made dresses, tailor-made blouses.
I always get coats made, actually, because
Coats.
my shoulders are broad, and so it's hard for me to find coats that fit right. But if I get one custom made, it looks really good.
Right. So come to our website, englishpod.com, leave your questions and comments there, and we'll see you guys later.
Until next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Made especially for the needs of one person. Custom made. To ascertain the dimensions, quantity. Measure. Be sure. Make sure. Be more likely. Tend. An artistic or decorative design that repeats. Pattern design.
Let's try that faster.
An artistic or decorative design that repeats. Pattern design. Be sure. Make sure. Be more likely. Tend. Made especially for the needs of one person. Custom made. To ascertain the dimensions, quantity. Measure.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Custom made. Brad got a custom-made motorcycle. It looks amazing. Custom-made. I want to get a custom-made sports car. Custom-made. Her dress was custom-made in Italy. Measure. I need to measure the length of this street. Measure. Help me measure the width of this box. Measure. Many people tried to measure the diameter of the earth. Make sure. Make sure you make some extra food just in case. Make sure. Please make sure you leave the door unlocked. Make sure. Can you make sure those reports are done by the end of this week? Tend. Don't buy cheap things. They tend to break easily. Tend. I always tend to forget my keys in my car. Tend. People tend to forget what happened in the past. Pattern design. This flower pattern for my dress looks really nice. Pattern design. I bought wallpaper that has a black and red circle pattern. Pattern design. I want a simple and elegant dress pattern.
Hello everyone and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and welcome everyone. Today we've got an elementary level lesson for you. It's all about sending things through the mail.
That's right. So maybe gifts, maybe letters. We're going to the post office. So why don't we jump right into this dialogue? Let's listen to it for the first time and we'll be right back.
Hi, I would like to send this package to China and these postcards as well.
Very well. You will need some stamps for the postcards, and I need to weigh that package too.
Great. How much is this going to cost?
Well, it depends. Do you want to send it via priority, express, or standard mail?
What's the difference?
Well, standard mail can take up to 15 working days. Priority is a bit faster and will arrive in about 5 to 8 working days. Express is the fastest, but it's also the most expensive. It only takes 3 days, and you can track your package online.
I see. Well, there's no rush. Please send it via priority mail. Please be extra careful. The contents of the package are fragile.
All right, so pretty simple dialogue. We want to send a package through the mail. So why don't we take a look at some of those mail-related terms in language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, so the first item we're going to talk about in today's language takeaway is something you can send. It's called a postcard.
A postcard. Okay, so very popular among people who are traveling and they want to send a postcard back home.
That's right. So a postcard is something that you usually buy at a tourist destination like Walt Disney World, for example, and it has a picture on the front and some words on the back. So you can write a letter on the back of this picture.
So it's very simple. It's not really a letter. You don't put it in an envelope. You just write whatever you want on the back of the postcard, but you do have to put a stamp on it in order to send it.
That's right. So stamp is our next word. A stamp comes in different price ranges. That means that some stamps are more expensive than other stamps. This is like money for the mail.
So you have to buy the stamps, and in order to prove that you have paid for the letter that you want to send, you must place the stamps on the letter, on the envelope, or on the postcard, right? So depending on the size and weight, it costs more.
That's right. And usually you lick a stamp to place it on the card so it doesn't fall off.
True. That's right. You got to lick it. All right. So as we talked about, a package can be a letter, a postcard. You place stamps on it, and we need to weigh the package to know how much money we have to pay.
That's right. So sometimes a package is very heavy if it's filled with books, for example. Sometimes it's very light if it's filled with clothes or feathers. And so to find out how much something weighs, we have to weigh it. This is a verb.
Okay. So this is a verb, right? To weigh. So you want to know how many kilos or how many pounds this item has.
Right. So we could say, it weighs a lot, or how much do you weigh?
Okay.
Things like this.
Very good. All right, moving on. We have the different types of mailing speeds, I guess, right? So we saw 3. Via priority mail, express mail, or standard mail. So let's go in parts. Let's go with the first one. Via priority mail.
Priority is fast. It means priority is something that's important. So I have many priorities at work. This means they're important.
Very important. So this letter has a certain importance. It's a little bit more important than, for example, the other letters.
That's right. But express is the most important, the fastest. So something that's express is fast. Like an expressway is the fast highway. Express mail.
Okay, so express mail is the fastest. And now the normal, cheapest mail is standard mail.
Standard. So the word standard usually means the average or the normal mail. And in this case, it usually takes the longest.
Okay. So obviously, standard mail is the cheapest. Express mail is the most expensive because it's the fastest.
That's right. So we've got all of those speeds now. Let's listen again to today's dialogue and try and listen for the words we just talked about. And we'll be back in a moment to talk about some important phrases.
Hi, I would like to send this package to China and these postcards as well.
Very well. You will need some stamps for the postcards, and I need to weigh that package too.
Great. How much is this going to cost?
Well, it depends. Do you want to send it via priority, express, or standard mail?
What's the difference?
Well, standard mail can take up to 15 working days. Priority is a bit faster and will arrive in about 5 to 8 working days. Express is the fastest, but it's also the most expensive. It only takes 3 days, and you can track your package online.
I see. Well, there's no rush. Please send it via priority mail. Please be extra careful. The contents of the package are fragile.
All right, we're back. So now let's take a look at 3 key phrases on Fluency Builder.
Fluency builder.
All right. So the first phrase today is one that I like to use a lot. We say, it depends. Okay. How much is this going to cost? Well, it depends.
Okay. So the phrase could be, it depends. So it depends. When do you usually use this?
Okay, if you ask me a question, I can have one answer, but maybe there's another possible answer. For example, what are you going to wear tomorrow, Marco?
It depends if it rains or not.
Okay, it depends. If it rains, I will wear a raincoat. If it's sunny, I will wear a normal coat. So it depends means there is a situation or a circumstance that might change. And if it does, my answer will change.
Right. So it is a conditional, it depends. For example, I can ask you, what are you going to eat tonight?
It depends. If I exercise, I'm going to have a hamburger. And if I don't exercise, I'll have a salad.
Nice. Okay. So it depends. Now we have another phrase when they were talking about how long it's going to take to mail something. He said standard mail can take up to 15 working days. So we have this little phrase there, up to.
Up to. So up to, when you hear this, these two words together, that's an indication, it's a sign that we're talking about the maximum, the most. Okay, so tomorrow, the temperature might go up to 24 degrees Celsius.
Okay, so the temperature maximum will reach 24. It could be maybe 22, 21.
But not 25.
Not 25.
No, because up to means the top.
So you're usually dealing with numbers, right? For example, this coat can cost up to $150.
Wow, so the most I will spend is $150. So sometimes you have a number like this when we're talking about sending a package. We can send packages that weigh up to 10 kilos. Not more than 10 kilos, though.
Okay, very good. And now for our last phrase to close off the dialogue, the guy said, well, you know what? There's no rush. No rush. There's no rush.
Okay, well, the first word we want to look at here is the word rush. In this case, we're talking about sending a package and the postcard, right? So, does this person want it to arrive fast? He says, no, there's no rush. Let's send it standard. It's cheaper.
Okay, so maybe your friend is like, come on, we're going to be late. And you're like, no, there's no rush.
There's no rush.
1 hour.
We have 1 hour before the movie starts. Calm down.
Okay, so you're not in a hurry.
No, there's no rush. Slow down. It's okay. This is a good one to talk about with friends if you're working on a project at work. You say, listen, there's no rush. Take your time.
Okay, very good. So let's go back to our dialogue. Let's listen to it for the very last time, and we'll be back in a bit.
Hi, I would like to send this package to China and these postcards as well.
Very well. You will need some stamps for the postcards, and I need to weigh that package too.
Great. How much is this going to cost?
Well, it depends. Do you want to send it via priority, express, or standard mail?
What's the difference?
Well, standard mail can take up to 15 working days. Priority is a bit faster and will arrive in about 5 to 8 working days. Express is the fastest, but it's also the most expensive. It only takes 3 days, and you can track your package online.
I see. Well, there's no rush. Please send it via priority mail. Please be extra careful. The contents of the package are fragile.
All right, we're back. So now, Catherine, do you usually send postcards when you are abroad, when you travel?
Yes, I love postcards. And actually, I have some friends who have an amazing postcard collection.
Oh, really?
But it's not normal postcards.
No, what type
They
of...
find the most ugly postcards and they
Wow.
buy them.
Wow.
And they write silly notes and they send them to themselves.
Oh, really? I have the tradition of always sending my parents and my grandparents a postcard when I'm abroad.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
So they
always.
have a collection of all of the places you've been.
Yeah. So all the time, wherever I am, the first thing that I try to do if I'm in a cool place, I send them a postcard. And sometimes if I'm in a country in various cities and there's some nice things in, for example, 2 or 3 cities, I'll send them 3 postcards.
That's awesome. So do they have a book at home with all of these postcards?
Yeah, they do. So I just send them a little thing, how I'm doing and how great it is and wish you could be here, little notes, and then they have all the collection. It's really cool because that way I've actually kept track a little bit of what year and what date I was in certain places.
Oh, wow. Well, it's also nice because postcards, you don't need to write a very long note. There's no space. You just write a short note. You say, hi, how's the weather? Miss you. Wish you were here.
Right. Okay, so that's all the time we have for today, but let us know if you've had any inconveniences at the post office. I actually had one once. I couldn't send batteries through the mail because
Really?
they have acid, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
So it's very difficult
Alkaline.
to send it. So maybe you've had a situation like this before. Let us know. EnglishPod.com. We'll see you guys there.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
To find the weight of something. Weigh. At least. Up to. Cost or require. Take. To be in a hurry. Rush. Easily broken or damaged. Fragile. Traveling through a place on the way to somewhere. Fire. To be treated as more important than something else. Priority. A service for carrying things faster than usual. Express. Usual or ordinary. Standard.
Let's try that faster.
At least. Up to. To be treated as more important than something else. Priority. Usual or ordinary. Standard. To be in a hurry. Rush. Easily broken or damaged. Fragile. A service for carrying things faster than usual. Express. To find the weight of something. Weigh. Cost or require. Take. Traveling through a place on the way to somewhere. Fire.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Weigh. I weighed myself this morning and was surprised to see that I had lost weight. Weigh. We need to weigh these suitcases to make sure they are not overweight. Weigh. My personal trainer says I should weigh myself every morning. Up to. You can be fined up to $100 for driving drunk. Up to. Lions can eat up to 50 pounds of meat per day. Up to. This car can go up to 300 miles on a single tank of fuel. Rush. I am in a rush. Can I call you back later? Rush. Don't worry, there is no rush. You can send me the reports tomorrow. Rush. If you got up earlier, you wouldn't be in such a rush in the mornings. Fragile. Ceramics are fragile and will break easily if dropped. Fragile. Newborn babies are very fragile, so you must be extra careful with them. Fragile. Be careful when you wash these wine glasses. They are fragile and could easily break. Take. How long is this going to take? Take. It can take 1 to 3 hours to get your car fixed. Take. It takes about 30 minutes to get to my office from my house.
Hello everyone and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And my name is Catherine, and today we've got a great lesson for you about traveling and getting directions.
That's right. So sometimes we are looking for an address, we are looking for our friend's house, and we can't find it. So what do you have to do? You have to stop and ask someone for directions.
There's actually a joke in many countries that men hate to ask for directions. And so this is kind of the women's approach, asking and getting directions and finally finding your way. So it's a good thing.
That's a very good thing. So we're gonna jump right into the dialogue. Let's see what happens here and if they can find the place they're looking for.
We've been going around in circles for the past hour. Will you just please stop and ask for directions?
We are not lost. I'm just taking the scenic route.
Yeah, whatever. I told you we should buy that GPS that was on sale. But would you listen to me? No, this is so typical.
Fine. I'll ask this guy for directions if it will shut your trap. Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me how to get to St. Mary's Church?
Sure. Go down Park Road, turn left, go up as far as the set of traffic lights and turn left. The place you're looking for is the second building on the right.
Thanks.
See, was that hard? If you would only listen to me more often, you would be better off.
All right, we're back. So, well, the woman was obviously a little bit angry that the guy refused to admit that he was lost.
That's right. She's very frustrated, and this has been in movies and in books and all sorts of things, this kind of story of the man not wanting to ask for directions. And so he keeps saying, listen, I've got these excuses. I'm taking the scenic route, for example.
That's right, and that's our first word for today on language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
So as you say, the scenic route, what does he mean by that?
Okay, route is like a path or a trail or kind of like the way that you go somewhere. So the route's to my house. But in this case, the scenic route or the scenic route, you can say in both ways, is the most beautiful way to go.
It's a little
usually
bit longer though,
the
right?
longer one.
Right.
Yeah. So you can say, oh, it's just the scenic route. It's not really true. It's just the longer route.
Right, exactly. So that's the excuse that he's giving her. Is like, no, I'm not lost. We're taking longer because, well, we're taking the beautiful route.
Right, with all the trees and the animals and the lakes. Nah, I don't buy it. I don't believe this.
That's right. And she said, yeah, whatever. You know what? We need a GPS.
Okay, GPS, Global Positioning System. So many people have these in their cars these days. This is like an electronic map that will use your location to show you where to go.
It's very useful, and especially in places like the United States that have streets that are clearly marked, and it's just a little bit easier to get around. You know, you can just get in your car, type in the address you want to go to, and the thing talks to you. It says, turn left, go straight, turn right.
Creepy. So this is a very useful device. It's like a computer that you use in your computer, a GPS.
All right, so she's talking about the GPS, and then at the end of that line, she says, this is so typical.
So what? Getting lost. All right. Getting lost is so typical. So something that is typical is common. Because this is so normal. This is so typical. This is so something you normally do.
So what other examples could we give with the word typical? Something that is typical.
Okay, well, you can have a behavior like this. What he did was typical. We can also say, in my typical Saturday, I wake up late and drink a coffee and take a nap.
Okay, cool. So it's common, it's regular, it's frequent maybe.
That's right. Or, you know, you go out to dinner and your friend is late. You say, oh, this is so typical of him.
Right, he's always late. Okay, very good. All right, and we have one last set of words here. And when the guy was giving him instructions, he said, you know what? Go left, go right, whatever. And then he said, until you reach the set of traffic lights. So what is a traffic light?
Well, you know what a light is. You know what traffic is. Traffic is cars driving on the road, trucks, things like that. So traffic light is a special light with 3 colors, red, yellow, and green. And it tells you if you can stop or go.
So they're also called stoplights, right?
That's right.
Okay.
So stoplights and traffic lights is the same thing. Usually they hang from above the street.
Okay, very good. Words and phrases there. Why don't we listen to our dialogue again? And we'll be back in just a little bit.
We've been going around in circles for the past hour. Will you just please stop and ask for directions?
We are not lost. I'm just taking the scenic route.
Yeah, whatever. I told you we should buy that GPS that was on sale. But would you listen to me? No, this is so typical.
Fine. I'll ask this guy for directions if it will shut your trap. Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me how to get to St. Mary's Church?
Sure. Go down Park Road, turn left, go up as far as the set of traffic lights and turn left. The place you're looking for is the second building on the right.
Thanks.
See, was that hard? If you would only listen to me more often, you would be better off.
All right, so we've got some great phrases coming up in Fluency Builder.
Fluency builder.
So the first phrase that we're going to look at is what the wife said at the very beginning. She said, "We have been going around in circles for the past hour."
Going around in circles. So we could say we've been driving in circles. In circles means you've been making the same route over and over and over again. You keep seeing the same house, the same tree, the same house, the same tree. So this means we're not going anywhere. You could also say, "Oh, Marco, I wish you had brought the map. We've been walking in circles for 2 hours.
Okay, cool.
Right.
So you can use it if you're driving or if you're walking in any situation like that.
Exactly.
Okay, good. All right, so going around in circles. Now, moving on, the guy was a little bit irritated with her, and he said something that's a little bit impolite. He said, "You know what? I'm going to ask for directions if it will shut your trap."
Impolite. This is rude.
This is rude.
Yeah, this is very rude. So be careful when you use this. You can say, "Hey, shut your trap." Okay, so shut means to close. But trap, this is your mouth. Okay.
So your mouth is a trap.
It's kind of like a trap. In this case, shut your trap is a set phrase, and it means shut up. Be quiet.
Okay.
Stop talking.
So how can we say this in a nicer way? For example, I've heard people say your yap. Shut your yap.
Yeah, shut your yapper. I would say, can you please stop talking, or can we have some quiet time now?
Can we have some quiet time?
Yeah, that's a polite way. The rude way is shut up.
Shut up, yeah.
Shut your mouth.
That's very direct though, right? Very
Yeah.
rude.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
So shut your trap.
shut your trap. And then the wife said, "Well, see, there you go. We got directions. We're going to get there now. And was that hard? If you would only listen to me more often, you would be better off." So the guy would be better off. That doesn't really make much sense.
To be better off. Okay, so you have to think of this as a phrase, not about the individual words. To be better off means to be happier or in some way better. So, for example, if I earned more money, I think I'd be better off.
Okay.
Okay,
So
I'd have a
maybe
nicer life.
to be happier, maybe more successful.
Right.
Right.
Or if you only listened to me, you would be better off. Means you would make better decisions. You would have a better situation.
So I could say, if she got a divorce, she would be better off.
That's right. Her life would improve.
Her life would improve.
To be better off. This is a great, and very useful phrase.
Very useful. All right, so why don't we listen to the dialogue for the very last time, and we'll be back to talk a little bit more with you.
We've been going around in circles for the past hour. Will you just please stop and ask for directions?
We are not lost. I'm just taking the scenic route.
Yeah, whatever. I told you we should buy that GPS that was on sale. But would you listen to me? No, this is so typical.
Fine. I'll ask this guy for directions if it will shut your trap. Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me how to get to St. Mary's Church?
Sure. Go down Park Road, turn left, go up as far as the set of traffic lights, and turn left. The place you're looking for is the second building on the right.
Thanks.
See, was that hard? If you would only listen to me more often, you would be better off.
All right, so the whole thing about men asking for directions, why do you think men don't like to ask for directions?
Well, it depends on the person, but I think a lot of people don't like to admit that they don't know. Okay, because if you ask for directions, it means I don't know where I'm going. I
Right.
need help. So this is one problem. The other problem is sometimes directions are bad.
I think so too. Sometimes when you receive an invitation or instructions on how to get to someone's house, they're very ambiguous. They're like, you know, you pass the dog that's sitting at the corner and you're like, there's no dog. What? How?
Yeah, I know. I know someone who lives in Costa Rica, and her address is go down the main street, take the second left after the post office, and after that, take the right after the general store, and 400 paces is the house.
So there's no address.
There's no
street name.
address. It's, you know, so
Yeah, it happens.
these instructions can be very confusing and very vague, like you said. So I think there's a couple different problems potentially.
I also heard a joke the other day about a kid asked his mom, he said, "Hey, why was Moses leading everyone through the desert for 40 years?
Why?
And she's like, because he refused to ask for directions.
Funny. I like that. I was going to say why, because he's going in circles. All right. So if you have any questions about today's lessons or comments, maybe you can tell us, do you like to ask for directions or do you like to figure things out alone? Let us know on our website, englishpod.com.
All right. We'll see you guys there.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Having, get to. An instruction leading to a place or point. A special offer or discount. If you want to get to the top of the mountain, you must leave early in the morning. Better off. On sale. Reach, be able to arrive at or in. Get to, I think she would be better off with someone her age. Be in a better condition. Better off. Better off. Circulate. We would be better off if we got a divorce. Better off. Global Positioning System. GPS. Shut up. A special offer or discount. On sale. Shut up. Shut your trap. Global Positioning System. GPS. Having the usual characteristics of. Typical. Circulate. Go around. Reach, be able to arrive at or in. Get to. Be in a better condition. Better off. An instruction leading to a place or point. Direction.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Direction. I need walking directions to your house. Direction. I sent you an email with driving directions to the restaurant. Direction. The directions you sent me were wrong. I couldn't find the house. Typical. The typical adolescent spends 2 hours a day on the phone. Typical. A typical diet consists of a light breakfast, a big lunch, and small dinner. Typical. The typical American will watch on average 6 hours one of the 24 equal parts of a day of TV per day. On sale. Jackets are on sale at the mall today. On sale. I wanted to buy some shoes that were on sale, but I didn't have any money. On sale. All items in this shop are on sale. Get to. I need to get to a hospital ASAP. Get to. John wanted to get to the highway, but he took a wrong turn. Get to. If you want to get to the top of the mountain, you must leave early in the morning. Better off. I think she would be better off with someone her age. Better off. We would be better off if we got a divorce. Better off. The company would be better off if the CEO quit.
Hello everyone and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we have an elementary level lesson for you all about computers.
That's right. So we are going to take a look at some of the basic parts of a computer and also about bad programs that could affect your computer and make it not work.
That's right. So before we get going, we have a verb for you that we're going to look at in vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
All right. So today on vocabulary preview, we have a verb, as you said, and it's to crash.
To crash. Okay, this has a couple of different meanings, but in today's dialogue, this means for your computer to shut down or to freeze or to stop working.
Right, because maybe you heard of a car crash, right? When two cars, bam, hit each other. In this case, your computer is just not working anymore. It stopped working. It freezes.
That's right, so you can't use it. So my computer crashed is a way to say my computer stopped working.
Okay, so that's a word that we're going to listen in our dialogue today. Why don't we jump right into it, and we'll be back shortly. Hello, thanks for calling 123 Tech Help. I'm Todd. How can I help you?
Well, hello? Can you help me? My computer. Oh, man.
It's okay, sir. Calm down. What happened?
I turned on my laptop and it broke. I mean, the monitor went black.
Okay, sir. It sounds like you might have a virus.
I don't feel sick. Well, let me check. Nope, no fever. I'm fine.
No, your computer might have a virus. I mean, it has a bad program on it. Maybe that's why it crashed. I recommend that you run an antivirus program in order to safely remove any unwanted spyware or Trojans.
Phew. Wait a minute. Crash? Spyware? Trojans? What? Where? When?
All right, so lots of great technology words today. Let's take a look at a few of them in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, so let's start off with our first word. You've probably heard it before, but let's go over it just in case. A laptop.
Laptop. A laptop is a kind of computer. We have desktop, laptop.
Right.
So your lap is the top part of your legs.
So a laptop computer is a small portable computer that you can take with you anywhere.
That's right. A lot of students have laptops and businessmen as well.
So you mentioned the opposite would be a desktop.
Right, so it sits on top of a desk.
Okay. So both a desktop and a laptop have monitors, a computer monitor.
So a monitor is like a TV for your computer. It's where you can see what you're doing.
Okay. So it's called a monitor or a screen maybe.
Yeah, you can also use the word screen, but monitor is the technical word for usually a box, like a TV that goes with the desktop computer.
Okay, very good. So Todd, the computer guy, said, hey, I think your computer might have a virus.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, a virus. So I guess you know what a virus is when you get sick, right? You get the flu or the cold.
That's right. You can say, I have a virus. But how can a computer have a virus? This means
it's a program that is designed to hurt your computer.
All right, so it's like your computer is sick and it doesn't work. So a virus might make your computer crash.
Exactly. So in order to avoid this, what we need is an antivirus program.
Okay, so virus is a bad thing. Antivirus is a good thing. An antivirus program is a program that protects your computer from viruses.
So you would say antivirus.
You might have heard of a very famous program called Norton Antivirus or McAfee Antivirus. These are brands.
Okay, very good. So those are some of the main technical terms that we have on Language Takeaway. Why don't we listen to our dialogue quickly why don't we listen to our dialogue quickly again, and we'll be back with Fluency Builder. Hello, thanks for calling 123 Tech Help. I'm Todd. How can I help you?
Hello? Can you help me? My computer. Oh, man.
It's okay, sir. Calm down. What happened?
I turned on my laptop and it broke. The monitor went black.
Okay, sir. It sounds like you might have a virus.
I don't feel sick. Well, let me check. Nope, no fever. I'm fine.
No, your computer might have a virus. It has a bad program on it. Maybe that's why it crashed. I recommend that you run an antivirus program in order to safely remove any unwanted spyware or Trojans.
Phew. Wait a minute. Crash? Spyware? Trojans? What? Where? When?
All right, we're back. So now let's start off with 3 key phrases on Fluency Builder.
This first phrase is one that I know you use a lot. I use it too. We say, oh man.
Oh, man. So now, depending on the tone, it can mean different things, right? Mm-hmm. So in this case, what does it mean?
So the man who's having problems with his computer says, my computer. Oh, man.
Right. He seems a little bit anguished.
Disappointed.
Yeah. Oh, man. So it's an interjection.
That's right. So you can say, oh, man, my computer crashed.
Right.
Oh, man, you're always late.
Now you can also say it for maybe surprise, like, oh, man.
So when you're excited about something, oh, man, this computer game is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's just a way of expressing maybe disappointment or in some cases excitement.
That's right. So think about the way that you say it. Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
Oh, man. Okay, so now the guy, Todd, he tells him, hey, sir, it's okay. Calm down, right?
Okay, so this might be funny sounding because we say calm, so be calm. Calm down. This is a phrase. It's almost like you're so upset and you're standing up. Calm down.
Calm down.
Cool it.
Okay. So you tell someone to calm down.
That's right. So you might hear a parent say about their child, the child won't calm down. What do I do?
Okay. So it's a phrase. Let's use it together. Calm down. Calm
That's right.
down. To calm down. All right. And now for our third phrase. Okay, so this is also an interjection, and it's very, very, very common, okay? So you'll probably hear people when they're talking, they're like, oh, I went over there. We went to this place. It's an interjection.
That's right. And usually we say this when we want to correct what we just said. For example, your computer might have a virus. It has a bad program on it, okay? So the computer support man, Todd, he understands maybe this person doesn't know what a virus is. So, he's changing what he just said. We could say, oh, Saturday I'm going to the movies. Sunday I'm going to the movies.
Okay.
What are you doing on Sunday?
All right. So you use it to correct yourself or maybe further explain something because maybe you are talking about a topic and maybe the person is not understanding you, so you want to make it more clear.
That's right.
Right, like, she was very angry at me. Of course she was, because I did something wrong.
Right, so it's a way to offer an explanation. All right, so try and use that one in your speech this week. It's a really, really great common English phrase.
All right, so why don't we listen to our dialogue for the last time, and we'll be back to talk a little bit more. Hello, thanks for calling 123 Tech Help. I'm Todd. How can I help you?
Hello? Can you help me? My computer. Oh, man.
It's okay, sir. Calm down. What happened?
I turned on my laptop and it broke. The monitor went black.
Okay, sir. It sounds like you might have a virus.
I don't feel sick. Well, let me check. Nope, no fever. I'm fine.
No, your computer might have a virus. It has a bad program on it. Maybe that's why it crashed. I recommend that you run an antivirus program in order to safely remove any unwanted spyware or Trojans.
Phew. Wait a minute. Crash? Spyware? Trojans? What? Where? When?
All right, so Marco, in today's dialogue, we heard a couple of strange words about computer viruses. One of them you might be familiar with from Greek stories and fables.
A Trojan.
All right, a Trojan. So it's a kind of bad software that will hurt your computer.
Yeah, it's a type of virus that comes in and it's supposed to be a good program or not harm your computer, but it's really just a lie. It's disguised as something else, and then it starts to really ruin your computer. They're very, very dangerous.
Yeah, so why do you think it's called a Trojan?
I don't know. Probably because of Troy something, because it's very difficult, like a Trojan.
Well, think about the story of the Trojan horse, right? You know that story. So back in ancient Greece, there was a war happening, and Troy wanted to defeat its enemy, and they didn't know how to do it. So they thought and thought and thought, and they came up with an idea. They would build a horse, and they would give it as a gift. But inside the horse would be warriors, fighters.
Right.
So when the city opened its doors to this wonderful gift, they would receive a horrible gift,
Right.
an attack. And so Trojan is like that. It's like software that you think is safe, but then it attacks your computer by surprise.
Yes. They're very dangerous. And now things have come up like Trojans and worms and a lot of different names for them, but it's crazy now. Although I hear Mac users don't have these problems.
We do not.
That's
If you use a Macintosh computer, you probably have very few problems with viruses and things like that.
wow. That's 1 point in favor for Mac users.
Absolutely. So let us know, have you had problems with a virus on your computer? Have you ever called tech support? Our website is englishpod.com. We hope to see you there.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
The English Pod audio review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
To express emotion or feeling, like God, Jesus. Oh man. Become quiet or calm. Relax. Calm down. A small computer which is easily carried. Laptop. To express one's own opinion or meaning. I mean. An electronic display that shows images. Monitor. A program designed to harm a computer. Virus. No, informal. Nope. A set of instructions to perform. Program. Stop working or functioning properly. Crash. A program designed to identify and remove computer viruses. Antivirus. To work or be in operation. Run. Software that secretly gathers information. Spyware.
Let's try that faster.
To express one's own opinion or meaning. I mean. Software that secretly gathers information. Spyware. A set of instructions to perform. Program. Become quiet or calm. Relax. Calm down. Stop working or functioning properly. Crash. To express emotion or feeling, like God, Jesus. Oh man. No, informal. Nope. A small computer which is easily carried. Laptop. A program designed to identify and remove computer viruses. Antivirus. To work or be in operation. Run. An electronic display that shows images. Monitor. A program designed to harm a computer. Virus.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Calm down. I need to calm down. I am too nervous. Calm down. The doctor gave me these pills to help me calm down. Calm down. You need to calm down your dog before he bites someone. Oh man. Oh man, I lost my wallet. Oh man. Oh man, you are in big trouble. Oh man. Oh man, that car is amazing. Virus. My computer has a virus that erased all my hard disks. Virus. You have to be careful when you open a computer file because it might be infected with a virus. Virus. The disk you gave me had a virus on it. Crash. My computer is too old and crashes all the time. Crash. I don't know what happened to my phone. I was talking and all of a sudden it crashed. Crash. This program causes my computer to crash. Run. You should run an antivirus program occasionally to check for viruses. Run. There are too many programs running. That's why your system is so slow. Run. This program doesn't run on Windows XP. You must have Windows 7 if you want to use it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we have a very dramatic intermediate level lesson for you.
That's right. Today we're going to take a look at how a court works, for example, in the United States. So you see that in movies and TV shows a lot, you know, the judge and all that.
That's right. Many of you have seen the movie The Firm or 12 Angry Men. These are classics in, courtroom drama, as we say. So today we're in a courtroom, and there are many characters who are trying to determine if this person is innocent or guilty. So let's take a listen and find out what's going on.
Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my client, Robert Malone, has been accused of a crime he did not commit. The prosecution has accused my client of being a pickpocket. I know we have heard the testimony of many people here today. People who claim the defendant, my client, stole their wallets. I feel sorry for these victims, I really do. But my client is innocent. Let's look at the facts. Number one, these so-called witnesses did not actually see the defendant steal anything. Number two, when the police stopped him, he did not have any of the stolen wallets. There is no evidence. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I ask you to think carefully before giving your verdict. Look at the facts. Look at the evidence. My client is innocent.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
Yes, Your Honor. Our verdict is not guilty.
Thank you so much. You were great. Thank you for all your hard work. You're welcome, Robert. I knew you were innocent, so my job was easy. Take care of yourself, okay? Thanks once again. Hey, where's my wallet?
All right, we're back. So you probably heard a lot of technical words that are specifically related to the courtroom, to lawyers, and the laws. So why don't we take a look at some of those now in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
The first language takeaway we're looking at today is all about people. So people you will find in a courtroom. Who is the first person on our list, Marco?
So the top person would be the judge.
the judge.
Now, you didn't really see this word judge in the dialogue, right?
You did hear, though, the phrase, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
So, Your Honor.
So that's how you talk to a judge. You always add Your Honor before it or something.
That's right. So, we say Mr. President when we're talking to Barack Obama. But if we're talking to a judge, he's a special person in American society. So we call him or her Your Honor.
Your Honor. Okay.
All right. Your Honor, the judge. That's our first person.
Okay.
Who else do we have?
So we have the judge, and now we have a group of 12 people who will ultimately decide if the person is guilty or not.
That's right. So these people are normal. They come from all different parts of society, and they will decide what to do with this person. Is he guilty or is she innocent? This group is called the jury.
Okay. So the jury is a group of normal citizens who will listen to both sides of the story and will then decide if the person committed the crime or didn't commit the crime.
That's right, a jury. And the big question is, who's fighting? We have two sides, someone who's upset and someone who is defending themselves. The person who is upset, this is the prosecution.
Okay, so the prosecution has a group of lawyers that are called the prosecutors, right?
That's right.
And they're trying to prove that that person committed the crime.
For example, I say that Marco burned down my house. I go to court, I say, I am the prosecution. I want him to pay me for my house. So I'm the prosecution.
Okay, so you're trying to not only prove that I committed the crime, but also trying to get me to pay for the damage that I caused.
Exactly. So in this case, the prosecution says, this man stole my wallet. He's a pickpocket. And who is the pickpocket? Or maybe the pickpocket. Who is the other side of this?
The defendant.
Defendant. Think about the word here. To defend is to stand up for yourself, to protect yourself.
Right.
So the defendant says, listen, no, that's not true. I am not a pickpocket.
I didn't do that.
So we have the prosecution and the defense. Okay? And the person who might be guilty, the person who did the thing or didn't do the thing, is called the defendant.
Okay. So in your example again about the crime that maybe I burnt your house down or I didn't, I would be the defendant and my lawyers would constitute my defense.
Yeah, they are your defense. Okay?
Okay.
So very technical words, but the important thing to remember here is defendant.
All right. Good. So now we have one key element that is also a person. We have the witness.
All right, so the basic idea, like you said, is we have to tell a story. My story is that you burned down my house. And you say, no, I didn't. Prove it. I say, I can. Someone saw you with a lighter.
Okay.
And so this person is my witness. That means that he or she saw what happened. So someone who sees a crime is a witness to that crime.
Okay, very good. So a lot of people are in the courtroom. A lot of things are happening. So I think we should listen to the dialogue again. And we'll be back to look at some more words on Language Takeaway Part 2.
Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury. My client, Robert Malone, has been accused of a crime he did not commit. The prosecution has accused my client of being a pickpocket. I know we have heard the testimony of many people here today. People who claim the defendant, my client, stole their wallets. I feel sorry for these victims. I really do. But my client is innocent. Let's look at the facts. Number one, these so-called witnesses did not actually see the defendant steal anything. Number two, when the police stopped him, he did not have any of the stolen wallets. There is no evidence. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I ask you to think carefully before giving your verdict. Look at the facts. Look at the evidence. My client is innocent.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
Yes, Your Honor. Our verdict is not guilty.
Thank you so much. You were great. Thank you for all your hard work. You're welcome, Robert. I knew you were innocent, so my job was easy. Take care of yourself, okay? Thanks once again. Hey, where's my wallet?
I love it when we do this. So many words, so much language to take away.
That's right. So now we're going to take a look at the second part of Language Takeaway where we have another set of 4 words that we want to take a look at.
Language takeaway.
All right, the first is actually two words. We have two opposites. Okay? So you said earlier, the jury has to make a decision. The jury has to decide, is the defendant innocent or guilty?
Okay.
Okay, these are two important adjectives. Innocent, what does this mean?
So if he is innocent, that means he did not commit the crime. He is not responsible for what happened. He did not steal the wallets.
Okay, so we often say babies are so innocent.
Right.
They can't do anything.
They didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
So guilty would be the opposite.
That's right. So usually when someone is guilty, they're sad, they feel bad, you want them to pay you.
And they go to jail.
Yeah, in bad situations, they go to jail. If you burn down my house, of course you're going to go to jail.
Right.
All right, so guilty means you did a crime. You did a bad thing.
So we talked about the prosecution and the defense of the defendant. And what happens is they also present some key elements that will prove if the person is innocent or guilty. And those elements are called evidence.
That's right. So back to this idea, we tell a story. Maybe a witness can help us tell our story. But as you say, evidence is stuff. It's things. So in the case of the house, I could say you have matches and you smell like smoke and oil. This is evidence for me to use to show that you are guilty.
Right.
So in this case, do we have any evidence? There's no evidence, says the defendant.
Right.
All right, so evidence is proof.
It's
It's
proof.
physical proof.
Yeah, and most of the times when you see movies or TV shows, they will find I don't know, like maybe a fingerprint. That's evidence. Or somebody's glasses.
A cell phone.
Exactly.
All right, so evidence. This is very important when you want to build a case. Finally, at the end of a trial, we have a verdict. Now, what is a verdict?
So a verdict is a final decision or a conclusion in which the jury says, yeah, the person is guilty or he's not guilty, he's innocent. So we use this word usually to reach a verdict. The jury reaches a verdict.
Now, it's interesting why we say to reach, because a jury is not just one person. A jury is many people. And so these people have to decide together. They have to argue. They have to make a conclusion that everyone agrees on. And this is to reach a conclusion, to reach a verdict, because they have to travel there. They have to go together and figure it out.
Right. That's very, very important. So the jury reaches a verdict.
And we did have one other phrase that's very interesting. It doesn't quite fit with the other ones. We heard this phrase from the defendant. The lawyer says, so these so-called witnesses didn't actually see anything. So what is so-called?
So he's being sarcastic when he uses this phrase, so-called, right? That's why even his tone changes, these so-called witnesses. So it's a way of expressing sarcasm. He's saying they say they are witnesses, but they're not really because they didn't see anything.
All right, so so-called means you say that they are, but they're not really.
Right,
I could also say, your so-called lawyer thinks he can help you, but he can't.
right,
That means, I don't think your lawyer is very good. I don't think he's a real lawyer.
right. Or sometimes people say, my so-called friend stood me up last night.
Oh,
So
so it's not really a friend.
He's not really a friend, exactly.
So-called. All right, that's another good one. Let's listen to this dialogue one more time. Really think about some of the words you heard today, and we'll be back in a moment.
Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my client, Robert Malone, has been accused of a crime he did not commit. The prosecution has accused my client of being a pickpocket. I know we have heard the testimony of many people here today. People who claimed the defendant, my client, stole their wallets. I feel sorry for these victims. I really do. But my client is innocent. Let's look at the facts. Number one, these so-called witnesses did not actually see the defendant steal anything. Number two, when the police stopped him, he did not have any of the stolen wallets. There is no evidence. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I ask you to think carefully before giving your verdict. Look at the facts. Look at the evidence. My client is innocent.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
Yes, Your Honor. Our verdict is not guilty.
Thank you so much. You were great. Thank you for all your hard work.
You're welcome, Robert. I knew you were innocent, so my job was easy. Take care of yourself, okay? Thanks once again. Hey, where's my wallet?
All right, we're back. So now a very interesting situation with the courtroom dramas. And I've heard that all the people in the jury have to agree in order for them to reach a verdict, right? So if one of them is not convinced that the person is, for example, guilty, then they have to keep on deliberating. That's the word, right?
That's right. So basically, the jury is always alone in a room. Maybe they have a guard, but they're not supposed to talk to journalists or friends of the defendant or anyone because their decision is supposed to be pure. And so they talk, and sometimes it takes 10 minutes. Everyone agrees this person is guilty or this person is innocent. But sometimes they don't agree, and it can be 1 day, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks, a month trying to decide what to do. I remember in the O.J. Simpson case, the jury took a long time to figure out what they were going to do.
And now, we said that the jury are common citizens, they're normal people. So what happens in their jobs, like if they can't go to work because they're doing this?
Well, in America, this job is called jury duty. And so someone will send you a letter, and they say, listen, you need to come do jury duty. And you help be a part of the jury. And your job, they can't make you come because this is a service for the government.
So it's above everything else.
It's above. You get your normal pay. There's no problem. You just don't work.
Okay. So they can't fire you if you're in jury duty for like 5 days or a month or whatever.
No, they can't. That's illegal.
Wow, that's really interesting. But a lot of people I've heard don't like to go to jury duty for some reason. Is it tedious?
No, it's probably very boring. I've never done it, but it's probably very boring.
I would imagine so. All right, well, that's a very interesting topic. I'm sure in your countries, laws are handled differently. Maybe you don't have a courtroom. Maybe you have, like in England, people wear wigs and black robes. So let us know how it works in your countries. We'll see everyone at our website, englishpod.com. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, you can leave those there as well.
See you on the website, and happy studies. Bye everyone.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Succeed in making the finding of a jury in a trial. Reach a verdict. Responsible for doing something bad. Guilty. A respectful title used to or of certain judges. Your Honour. A body of persons sworn to judge. Jury. To charge someone with a crime. Accuse of. To do something, usually a crime. Commit. The lawyers against the defendant. Prosecution. One who steals from pockets. Pickpocket. A declaration of truth or fact. Testimony. The person being sued or accused. Defendant. People affected by a painful or sad experience. Victim. Not guilty. Innocent. Refer to something that is not suitable. So-called. Something that shows the thing is true. Evidence. One who is called on to testify before a court. Witness.
Let's try that faster.
To do something, usually a crime. Commit. A body of persons sworn to judge. Jury. Refer to something that is not suitable. So-called. Responsible for doing something bad. Guilty. A declaration of truth or fact. Testimony. One who steals from pockets. Pickpocket. The lawyers against the defendant. Prosecution. Something that shows the thing is true. Evidence. To charge someone with a crime. Accuse of. One who is called on to testify before a court. Witness. The person being sued or accused. Defendant. Not guilty. Innocent. Succeed in making the finding of a jury in a trial. Reach a verdict. People affected by a painful or sad experience. Victim. A respectful title used to or of certain judges. Your Honor.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Accuse of. Martha accused me of stealing her boyfriend. Accuse of. This man is being accused with murder. Accuse of. The teacher accused the students of being lazy. Testimony. In your testimony, you stated that you were there at the moment of the crime. Testimony. The witness gave her testimony in court today. Testimony. The judge discarded her testimony since it was inaccurate. So-called. I have to go to my so-called job today. I hate it. So-called. I was betrayed by my so-called best friend. So-called. My so-called supervisor makes me do all the work while he is on the phone all day. Reach a verdict. The jury has reached a verdict and we find the defendant not guilty. Reach a verdict. We disagree with the verdict and will appeal to the court's decision today. Reach a verdict. The judge still hasn't reached a verdict in this case. Evidence. There is evidence of life on Mars. Evidence. The forensic scientists recollect and analyze evidence found at the scene of the crime. Evidence. There is no evidence that proves your theory.